Amazing attention to detail. Everyone in Austria loves this brand. Kartoffels. Nur das Beste. Das Beste is a noun! It needs to be capitalized! In the world of video games, Electronic Arts and Valve are rival companies. However, their paths have often crossed and they work together from time to time. EA has acted as a publisher for several Valve products, and nowadays Valve is selling several EA products on their platform Steam. In recent years, we even saw prominent EA titles which utilized Valve technology. Most notably Titanfall and Apex Legends, both games running on the Source engine. This is not an all-too-new development. A long time ago, Valve lent their technology to EA once before, albeit rather indirectly. In the early 2000s, EA released a plethora of James Bond titles. One of them, James Bond Nightfire, a pretty decent first-person shooter, if you played the console version. The very first mission of the game is an absolute banger. Open structure, you are able to choose multiple paths to the castle, in which your main objective is hidden. Vault the walls with a grappling hook, sneak in the back of a truck, or just blast your way through the guards, unless you are playing the PC version, in which case the mission becomes a linear mess. Follow the drifting truck and shoot the guards. Done. We're off to a good start here, I guess.
Deja vu, I've just been in this place before. Higher on the street and I know it's my time to go.
This game is one of Gearbox's absolute low points. Everyone knows Alien Colonial Marines as Gearbox's biggest screw-up, but I think this one is a definite contender for the second place. I played the console version back when I was a kid and it's a decent game. I can really recommend the console version. Developed by Eurocom for PlayStation 2, GameCube and Xbox, they really outdid themselves. It was a really good game. The PC version, however, was developed by Gearbox Software, utilizing for some reason a different engine. The console versions ran on the so-called Engine X. The PC version runs on Gold Source, known from Half-Life. Compared to Half-Life or later Counter-Strike Condition Zero, this version of the Half-Life engine looks pretty good. Compared to the console version, it's a stinker. At the point of creating Nightfire, Gearbox Software was pretty experienced with the Gold Source engine / the Half-Life engine. It's probably the reason why they chose it. They ported Half-Life to the PS2 and were working on Counter-Strike Condition Zero, also running on the Half-Life engine. But as it turns out, the Half-Life engine isn't so good for things like vehicle missions and rail shooters with helicopters, which is the reason why the console version of Nightfire and the PC version are so very different. They feel like the same game, but from a parallel universe. The game's plot is overall the same, which is why I won't talk about it. Not to spoil anything, because frankly I think you should definitely grab the PS2 or Xbox version of the game. It's decent. They took the likeness of Pierce Brosnan, who was the James Bond boy at the time, and created a new story, inspired by things that we've seen in previous movies. All topped off with the typical James Bond charm.
Nice landing, James. Why do you always seem to end up on top?
A lower center of gravity?
Low center of gravity because he's got a big dong. Overarching story and certain locations are the only things that PC and console version have in common. The console version features vehicle combat, underwater vehicle combat, different missions, more variety, more weapons, a better multiplayer, a customizable multiplayer. The PC version is the lackluster version. The gameplay mainly alternates between very forced stealth parts and run-of-the-mill shooter gameplay. Absolute standard for the time. The only thing missing is the fixed machine gun emplacement part. You have some side rooms to unlock with extra armor or a special weapon, but that's about it. Amazingly, the stealth parts don't even slow down the gameplay so much. What does slow the gameplay down to a grinding halt are something that James Bond is so famous for, his weird gadgets. They are fiddly to use, you need to open a separate menu, they are just annoying. Oh, get out the pocket laser, get out the little computer, get out the cell phone grappling hook, get out the electric keychain, get out the dart gun. Counter-Strike Condition Zero deleted scenes had very similar things, areas in which you can use a specific device. These Q gadgets work in a similar way. The wristwatch laser is exactly the same as the little blowtorch from Condition Zero. Why not just shoot open the lock? it works in any other game. The console version by comparison isn't perfect either. The annoying way to use these gadgets exists as well, but they have so many other cool features to make up for it. And in this field, the PC version just can't deliver. Okay, granted, they try to compensate for the missing features by adding longer levels. But that doesn't really make up for anything if the gameplay is just horrible. And that is mostly due to the incredibly broken AI. The AI is either incredibly incompetent, killing themselves with hand grenades or outright ignoring you, or they are super alert and kill you with pinpoint accuracy. Or it's a mix of both, where one of the guys shoots at you and someone else is just displaying complete apathy. In other situations, the AI just likes to fire into empty space or just check out completely. And for good measure, repeating the same few lines again and again and again.
Identify yourself! Advance on my signal! Hold your position! Fire when ready! Pull back! Fire when ready! Advance on my signal! Hold your position!
Playing the game on higher difficulties just becomes incredibly frustrating. The AI doesn't get smarter, no, they just become very bullet spongy. This devolves the gameplay into a simple search for the next health pack, or in this case, plates of armor. If you shoot a grenade through someone's head and they don't die, yeah, at some point I lost patience and just turned on the console. Since this game runs on the Half-Life engine, SV_cheats1 is your friend. No clip, God mode, give weapon _ name here, that all works. So, enjoy. Or rather, don't enjoy and play the console version.
James, keep an eye on me.
Maybe even more frustrating than the enemy AI is friendly AI. Because they are either standing around, not doing anything, or, I wanted to say running scared, but, I'm not sure what this is. Hey! Stehen bleiben! Stehen bleiben! Komm zurück! Was zum Fick? Let us also just quickly appreciate the level of craftsmanship that went into this model. Does the game have any redeeming qualities? Well, for Gold Source it looks fine, but that doesn't say much. The music is nice, it's the old James Bond score. That's pretty cool. For all the half-baked stealth levels and generic shooter parts, the game does from time to time have a few interesting parts. The ending in space is very different. Low gravity, you have a jetpack, and a very special weapon. Apart from that, the weapons are nothing special. Discounting the time when, well, the bugs strike again and your Sig Sauer assault rifle goes completely off the rails. Haha! Die Sig ist aber richtig sauer! I'll be awaiting my German comedy prize. You know, apart from the Super Sig Sauer, I guess your keychain is the best weapon in game. It's just super powerful. And fun. So yeah, can I recommend this game? No, absolutely not. Playing it out of curiosity? Yeah, maybe. Have a look at it. If you want to see how many Counter-Strike Condition Zero textures and models can be found in this game, there are a few, mostly vegetation and the odd electrical box. For example, this one can be found on DevOS stock. If for any reason you want to play an old James Bond game, play the console version. The console version is worth it. But Gearbox's PC version is, outside of a maybe morbid curiosity, not worth your time, nor worth your money. It is ugly as night, annoying as sin, and due to the absolutely broken AI, frustrating as hell.
Right. Good luck, James.
You know, this game was simultaneously developed to Counter-Strike Condition Zero, and Valve took Counter-Strike Condition Zero away from Gearbox. If they worked on Counter-Strike with the same, let's say, inspiration as on this game, then I completely understand why they took Condition Zero away from Gearbox software. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe for future content, and maybe even consider supporting us on Patreon, as our supporters there got to see this video first. A special thanks to Lone Wolf Deconis, J13, Cookie, Ptolemyer, Harrison Steffens, Plasma, Brass Jazz, the newest supporter, Chris Lewer, and with great joy welcoming back one of our old supporters, Zed Gladys. And also a big thank you to supporters who recently left us, Kelda Powell, Sambo Badger and Z Oops. To those guys also a big thank you. Hopefully, see you guys next time. Until then, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.